Hi, this is the second part of 3 parts of how I make my covers and record my music stuff in general. I split this into parts depending on what you're interested in. This second part is about recording both the audio and video and also all my gear. Step a half, make a demo. Okay, so we're not recording yet, but the most important step whenever I do any recording is to make a scratch track or a demo, a quick rough draft of the track as a proof of concept, but also as a guide for later recording. I have my project ready right here and my transcription. And I'm not worrying about the quality of my recording or any gear yet. I'm just getting it down. I'm going to start with my rhythm guitar to lay down the structure, then have some drums and maybe some bass for foundation, and then I'll get to play the melody over that. Now I can start trying to play some of the melody over it. And that brings me to step 1, practice. So yeah, before I sit down to record anything or mix anything, I'm just gonna take a bunch of hours and just practice the tune. What I like to do is record enough that I have sort of all the sections of the song covered, and then I can loop and sort of edit where I need to. I know there's a solo that uses the verse chords. So yeah, it's off to practicing. Step 1.5, gear. Alright, thought I'd take a break from practicing. That guitar solo is rough on my old acoustic. Do I have a 19th fret? I don't know, it's rough up there. But I thought I'd go through my equipment, starting with my audio and music stuff and then moving to my video stuff. Starting right here, this is a Studio Projects B1 condenser microphone. I like it because it has a low self noise. I think it's like 12 decibels. Most other mics in that price range are like 20 decibels or something. It's useful to me because I record stuff very quietly so I can hear the noise floor. So the first guitar on my rack is this Sterling Cutlass. It somehow sounds thinner than a normal Strat, and it has a really thin neck, which I like. Next is my Squier Classic 5 Tele. This is my first electric. I haven't used it that much lately. It's got C6 strings on it right now, and I kind of use it as a lap steel when I need it. Of course, this is my precious D'Angelico Deluxe DC. The humbuckers just have this clarity that not a lot of other humbuckers have from my experience, and it's just so easy to play. This is my Squier Vintage Modified Jazz Bass, which I use for everything, and it always has the cheapest set of round wounds I can get at the local guitar center. This is my nylon string that I'm, in quotations, borrowing from a friend. It has like 3 different sets of strings on it, and yeah, it's a guitar, that's for sure. And finally, this is my first guitar, my Yamaha FG710S acoustic. I use it when I need acoustic stuff. Hurts my fingers though. This is my Studio Logic SL73 MIDI controller. I just love heavy keys, and these hammer keys are great. I used to use an M-Audio Keystation 88. I got a cheap sustain pedal, but I also like using this volume pedal as an expression pedal. For my interface, I use a Motu M4. I used to have a Focusrite 2i2. This just has some extra features, but they kind of sound the same. I'm sure you've seen in the background my Yamaha HS5, my Reface DX, which I use as a MIDI controller usually, and then my other HS5. So yeah, the drum set. This was a friend's neighbor throwing it out, and they salvaged it for me. The snare I bought used later. It's a Pearl Piccolo, which I love. But otherwise, everything else, you just put a bunch of towels on everything, play quietly, and hopefully it'll sound like a drum set. And you can see where that mic is placed. That is my trusty Audio-Technica AT3035. Absolutely love that mic. Then I got this SM57 that I use on the snare if I want a sort of signal to use for reverb or I'm doing brush stuff. And it's just there as an extra mic. All right, And the last thing I got are these Beyerdynamic DT770s. I used to use a pair of Sony MDR7506s, but yeah, I will wait till daylight tomorrow to use my phone to record me recording myself with my camera stuff. Yeah, so see you in a sec. Alright, it's recording day. I thought real fast I'd show you my camera gear. This is my Sigma FP, relatively recent acquisition. I used to shoot on a Sony A6100 and also on this LG G7, which I think is still great. I'm using some adapted Canon FD lenses. This is a Tamron 24mm, and that's a Canon 50mm. Then I have this Studio Eye tripod, and then this cheap LED that I use for all my lighting. Based on the weather today, it's a little cloudy and stormy, so the lighting might be a little inconsistent. I might just record at night, so then I can fully control my lighting. So I'll see you then. Alright, time to record some drums. I got my camera set up, got my laptop over here controlling my desktop and a bunch of long cables, and yeah, I think we'll just go for it. Alright, finished up drums, relocated all my gear out here. Got my camera over here with the long cables again so I can monitor it from my computer. Got my LED in that lantern so it sort of diffuses the light. And then got my Studio Projects B1 here to record my nylon string. And I'll get back to you in a little bit. So yeah, I don't know if it's obvious, but I record all of my takes live, which can take a long time sometimes. This time, I think, yeah, it'll be kind of a long night. But next video, we're going to mix, we're going to edit, and yeah, I'll see you then.